What's going on, guys? Meteorologist Jonathan Kegges with you, hopping on for a bonus stream tonight. Of course, we are tracking some nasty thunderstorms. We're hopping on tonight because we've had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings, mainly clustered from Denellen to just west of Bellevue, into Ocala, into the greater Marion County area. The main concern now is flooding, and for the second time in about, 4 days, parts of Ocala under a flash flood warning tonight. And this is where we're concerned with because we've had a ton of rain in a short amount of time again. So the National Weather Service went ahead and issued a severe thunderstorm warning, or a flash flood warning, excuse me, for the west side of Marion County. So this is going to include Ocala. This is going to include the west side of Ocala. That's to Cotton Plant, to York, to Mount Olive, to Martell, Bahia Oaks. We are just outside of that warning, but man, a ton of rain has fallen in a short amount of time. Tonight, by the way, with our friends, courtesy of WeatherStem, we're taking a live look tonight in Ocala where the rain is coming down in buckets, and then also in Wildwood in the small box, have the hurricane looped into this. Of course, Erin is still out there. Coming up, News 6 at 9:30 here on YouTube and on News 6 Plus. We're going to, of course, be taking a deep dive into the beach conditions that Erin is going to deteriorate over the next couple of days. And, of course, a trailing wave. There's already a lot of hoopla on social media about that. So we're going to break all that down right back here on the News 6 YouTube page at 9:30. We get together every night, Monday through Friday at 9:30. And then, of course, also on News 6 Plus, if you happen to be tuning in on that as well. I also had the looping radar below me in the Brady Bunch box tonight. Again, as we kind of bounce all around Central Florida, things are a little more tame now around Orlando. We'll take a radar tour in a second. The biggest concern, again, that I have is the rainfall, and this falling within the last few hours here. So let me clear the map. I know there's a lot going on here, and I'll try to get rid of that. There we go. And inside of the box here, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches of rain is estimated to have fallen in the Ocala area, especially on the south side of town and on the west side of town. That's going to include I-75 tonight. That is also going to include, we'll get you real close, Southwest College Road, West Silver Springs Boulevard, Florida Community College involved in this flash flood warning. So if your bells and whistles went off on your phone and you came to YouTube, welcome. We have you covered every time there's some nasty weather around. Camp Roosevelt, we're just on the outside of this. Mary Camp, just outside of the warning. Certainly, though, raining heavily. Now, let me extend this back to 6 hours. Most of this still falling within the last couple of hours. And every now and then, I'm going to look down at the National Weather Service chat just to see if we're getting any reports of flooding. Um, just sending. Looks like we have some storm reports here. Heavy rain with some flooding. Now wind damage, multiple lightning strikes with structure fire calls. One confirmed related to lightning. That was as of emergency management a few minutes ago. Hey, what's up, Janine from Ocala? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe tonight. It's pretty wild out there. Sorry, I can't. I'm just sending out an email to our news producers to check on this more. Um, looks like, see if we can get some people up there to check this out. Hi, also Akala, Bob and Janine. Thanks so much for tuning into the live stream tonight. Let me know what you're seeing if you can do so safely. Akala going nuts, Bob says, with all of the lightning. I mean, boy, it was Friday night. I think it was Friday. I'm getting my day. They're all running together. It was either Thursday or Friday night. I think it was Friday night that we were back in the same kind of situation where we had the super heavy rain. We had the flooding in town, a lot of lightning as well. And again, we're taking a live look in Ocala tonight where we have the heavy rain. Let me get you back to the actual radar, but I wanted to kind of set the stage there. This dark green box that you see on the screen, this polygon, this is the flash flood warning. So anybody in here likely got a nasty little buzz on their phone because the Weather Service went ahead and issued that flash flood warning. If you don't have the News 6 weather app, your phone likely would have went off anyway because it's one of those emergency alerts that kind of overrides thing. Janine says Silver Springs, dark and rumbly, light rain now, heavy earlier. Uh, Driving shortly from Winter Park to UCF, first day of class. Is it safe to start driving in 20 minutes from UCF, from Winter Park to UCF? I think you're going to be okay. Yeah, you're good in the Orlando area. Just a couple of stray downpours out there, so you're looking good. That storm that we were watching when we were on TV, and that has since ended and really wrapped up. Just a couple of stray downpours, not even any lightning. I'm also watching for our friends in Sumter County here, from Bushnell to Wildwood. We have a live look in Wildwood. You see the trees swaying a little bit, um, moving across the screen. Nothing severe, but certainly wind gusts in here, 40 to 50 miles an hour. The potential for some small hail. And then again, these really aren't moving much. So I'll put the loop on just to show you. This is over the last 15 minutes. And I mean, this rain is coming down super, super hard. Of course, if you're in Coleman and Bushnell Webster, you don't need me to tell you that. But it's the combination of all of that coming together. I'm trying to load up my comments. That kind of just ran in here right after the newscast and got the streaming stuff up so that we can go on here. And if anybody was looking for some more information on the flash flooding that's going on, or that could be starting, just watching all that for you guys. You're welcome, Bob. I appreciate you hanging out with us and for your storm reports, and just hope everything's okay, especially after Friday. I know there's double dose. Bob is asking, also asking about Erin. I do think it will move away. I do think it's going to move away. I don't think it's coming here. We will get some pretty crazy waves on the Atlantic coast, 6 to 8 foot waves, I think, starting tomorrow, especially as we get deeper into the afternoon. And then as we get into Wednesday, I think that's our biggest day. So if you wanted to see some of the action that Erin is going to produce, that is going to be coastal only, maybe some beach erosion, rip currents, and then the super big waves. Otherwise, no, I don't think it's coming here. I don't think we're going to see direct impacts. As it kind of moves away. And thank goodness, because that thing is huge. The impacts would have been far reaching. I mean, they're going to get tropical storm force wind gusts in the Carolinas and the Outer Banks. And it's wild because the thing at the center is going to be 100, 200 miles off the coastline. It's crazy. Just how close or just how big this thing is going to get. And you think it's big now. If you look at the satellite image, it's going to grow even further getting into tomorrow. So just some wild stuff there. And I mean, thankfully, this is going to stay kind of right in between the worst of it anyway. Yes. So the one behind there's a little more uncertainty with that. I have all my bells and whistles to track that one at 9:30 tonight. So if you're around at 9:30, I'm going to talk about that one. I do see another dip in the jet stream on the East Coast. If that comes into fruition, that's going to help to guide that one away if it even develops. I think it's going to have a harder time than Erin because there might be some more land interaction with the Caribbean, and that would kind of delay everything. That's what the European solution wants, going forward. So let me get back to some of these storms here. The good news is it looks like we are fizzling out. Um, at least I don't think it's bigger. I can't remember Katrina's size off the top of my head. Um, I don't think right now, maybe by tomorrow. I mean, wait till you see the satellite, what this thing could be tomorrow. I mean, we literally might have an outer band on the Outer Banks with an outer band over Bermuda. That's how wild that thing is going to be. All right, I lost my radar. Where did it go? Let me get back here. All right, let's go to the Jacksonville radar. I am liking the trends with this. In Marion County, we still have some heavy rain north of Ocala, but we want to get that heaviest stuff out of the city and where that flash flood warning is at. So I'm optimistic there that things are going to start to improve. Checking in with the National Weather Service again. Okay, Bob said it's starting to get a little better on the northwest side of Ocala. 100% there. It's still kind of raining, but not certainly not even close to what it was before. Wildwood, we are still taking it on the chin tonight. Let me show you here. I would not be surprised if we do have this kind of special weather statement that we're highlighted in get upgraded. We have some really nasty stuff. Let me see. Let me check. We have a couple different National Weather Service offices in play here. One of them, the Jacksonville takes care of Marion County, and then the Tampa office takes care of Sumter County, and then the rest are going to be Melbourne. Yeah, they are not moving much. I think for the most part, for storms tonight, we're gonna keep them pretty much right through here. So I think Palm Coast, Daytona Beach, like 95, even most of I-4, east of Orlando, we're looking pretty good. Optimistic that we see things fizzle out here. I think it's gonna be right down in here, really, where we see anything kind of build back over the next hour or so. I'll put the loop back on. This is a 15-minute loop, and you see them kind of move east and then jog back to the west a little bit. I mean, these are just subtle drifts here, back and forth each way, which is bad and good. That the good news is that they can rain themselves out, but the bad news is we don't want it over one area so that we get any flooding going through. Certain areas. Special weather statement again just popping up here. That's going to be on the north side of Ocala into Anthony, into Kendrick, Martin, Oak, Silver Springs. And just like that, Squirrel Girl says scary in Silver Springs tonight. And you're getting on this side of the cell. Let me get the lightning back on. Just got home from West Ocala to Silver Springs, was absolutely pouring. My goodness. So, yeah, you were driving through this thing that was a little bit further south into Ocala at that point. So, that would have been a rough drive. I'm glad you got home safely. Wow. Hope everybody's okay. Do you know if anybody was in there? Hopefully, that didn't hit anybody. Bob says just had a tree fall 2 house down after massive lightning strike. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. The lightning is still no joke here, even though the rain is lightening up. Hey Russ, I talked a little bit about it, and I'm going to talk a lot about it tonight at 9:30. If you're around, we do this stream every night where we talk about Florida weather and the tropics. It's every night, Monday through Friday, 9:30. So if you want to join, we're going to get real deep into it. I'm cautiously optimistic that it does not hit us. I think it's going to struggle a little bit more than Erin. I mean, Erin really hasn't struggled much if you've been paying attention, but I think it's going to struggle because the islands are there. I think it's going to go further south initially, but I do see a dip in the jet stream if the European solution is going to be correct with the dip kind of showing up. So we're going to get into that at 9:30 if you're around, but I'm cautiously optimistic no, and I didn't get to spend a ton of time on that tonight because I wanted to make sure our friends in Marion and Sumter County, even Orange County, oh, sorry. Okay, no house hit. Thank God. Okay. Gotcha. Hey James, hope you're doing well. Yeah, the rain not so much on the Space Coast. It's all hanging out over here. Nothing again. Everything's pushing off to the west, and that's how it might likely will be. There might be a few downpours tomorrow morning, and then I think we're on the drier side for the afternoon. Sweet. It's okay. It's okay. Just want to that's my early cautiously optimistic thoughts on it though. So if you we cover Sarasota whenever we're on the stream at 9:30. So if you're ever up at 9:30, um you know where to find us over here. We do the whole kind of state thing. We go around the state and give the Florida weather. That's every Monday through Friday at 9:30. Plus it'll be saved on YouTube as well. So you can check that out later if you wish. Okay. Let's check on the power outages. So I'm going to go to the severe section, outages numbers. There we go. So we do have, I mean, not a ton, 300 people in the entire Marion County area being reported without power right now. So it's not a ton. Obviously, if you're the one out of the 300 customers, that's not fun because it's super hot and super uncomfortable outside. We had a huge power outage earlier, 1,200 people affected, but that was before the storm. So still no idea. I wonder if that's weird. I wonder if it was something like heat related or something, just like too much energy. Look at all the lightning. Let's get back to the Tampa radar. All right, guys, welcome. Let me know where you're tuning in from tonight. All the action is hanging around the I-75 corridor. If you're watching on U6 Plus, welcome. If you're watching on YouTube, also welcome. And if you can comment, post where you're tuning in from. We have a lot of people tuning on, so I thank you guys for jumping in. We want to be here for you as we track these storms. Again, there's nothing severe right now. All of severe warnings expired at about 6:15 tonight. We do have one flash flood warning in Ocala, although I am a little optimistic because the heaviest rain has slowly but surely drifted out of the warning area where we picked up 2 to 3 inches of rain in about an hour, hour and a half. So it's been wild again in Ocala, and we just dealt with this on Friday, almost the same kind of deal. Um, and then we have this kind of giant cluster of thunderstorms around Webster, Bushnell, Lake Panasoffkee, into Coleman, Wildwood. Tons and tons of heavy rain falling right now. Let's just see rainfall I want to go to the 1 hour rain. And this is what we picked up. I would not be surprised. Oh, look at that flood advisory here until 8:30 for Sumter County. Let me turn off the lightning so we actually see what's going on. And we're going to do some, um, call it my little dabber, my little piper there. And really the same kind of deal around Coleman. We'll take it closer in if anybody's watching from Coleman or Wildwood tonight through Adamsville. Fenny Way, Spider Lily Street, Reynolds Road. Um, Reynolds Road is very windy. It goes through here, but 2 to 3 inches of rain falling here around Adamsville. Sumterville, we picked up a lot of rain too. Radar estimates of anywhere from about an inch, give or take, in the last hour. And then St. Catherine, right off I-75 here, Carver, Bushnell, County Road 478. If you're familiar with that, anywhere from 2 to 3 inches. Again, this is just radar estimate rainfall over the last hour. So, I mean, it's been coming down and it's not even letting up anytime soon. So I'm watching it closely for you guys in Sumter County tonight. And here's all the rain we picked. We got to go. I'm going to take it back 6 hours. And again, most of this fell in a 2 hour window here. I was watching this for you. I was tracking this for you on TV. So on the News 6 side of things, if you get our signal in the greater Central Florida area on the TV side and on News 6 Plus, we were also streaming. But you see here the orange. I mean, this again came down in about 2 hours, anywhere from 3 to 4 inches of rain, give or take, right around Ocala, especially on the west side and then south. And then even for us in Mount Olive and Martel, Ocala Ridge, 2.5. Ocala Thoroughbred Acres, 2.5 inches of rain. Fellowship as well. Hope you guys are doing well if you're tuning in from Fellowship. Kendrick and Zuber, 2 inches of rain. So it's been a lot of rain tonight again, and we just got this amount of rain, give or take, last Friday. So it's been awful. Borderline of Lake and Sumter County, super windy outside. Okay, let me turn on the radar again. We'll work out of the Tampa radar, and we're going to head to the border of Lake and Sumter County. I assume you mean somewhere in here where it's kind of nasty, in between Wildwood and Fruitland Park and Leesburg. Let me check the winds in here. It might be at a weird radar angle, but yeah, it's coming down. If you're going to follow Montclair, Bamboo, Orange Home into Sumter County, right along State Road 44, if you know where that is. I don't know if I'm too far south or north to where you're watching from, but we can take it up closer to Fruitland Park, into Miller Boulevard, South Morris Boulevard, Moyer Loop, Oliver Lane, the deep dark purples there. We can turn on the threats, and then it will show you kind of removing some of the noise here. And this is what the computer thinks. Excuse me. Okay, so perfect. We were right in that area. But man, it is wild here. Let me put the loop on. And again, it's not moving. And that's my biggest concern tonight. Of course, the gusty winds that you're feeling and seeing out there. But also, okay, the flood advisory just came through. Got that. All right, so I'm gonna turn the lightning back on. Good question, but no, none of the winds that we are feeling are from Erin. They might be tomorrow. especially along the coast. They might be indirectly related because of the what we call a pressure gradient or the pressure difference, because Erin's pressure is so low. We have higher pressure building back to the west of Florida. So indirectly, once we get into tomorrow, Erin can has her hand in the gusty winds tomorrow, especially along the coast. But no, they're not directly from the hurricane, too far away, thankfully. It's kind of hard to say. I think this is going to be around for the next at least 45 minutes to an hour, depending upon, again, you're right in that area that we just highlighted right in through here. I would say you're dealing with this for at least another 45 minutes to an hour, unless it peters out earlier. Look at Wildwood right now. Again, we're taking a live look in Ocala. Things are getting a little better for us there. But Wildwood, man, the rain is coming down super hard. Here's where the camera is. Let me take you closer into Wildwood. And again, we are right smack beat red right through Wildwood from Moreland Park, Orange Home, right through State Road 44 into Monarch. I mean, holy cow. Like, if you don't have to drive in this, um, if you don't have to drive in this, I wouldn't. I would just park it. I mean, don't even try to go. I mean, it's wild out there. I'm sure it looks like a tropical storm for sure. From just to the west of Leesburg to Fruitland Park to Wildwood, Coleman, Lake Panisofsky. It's crazy. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind words. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight and keeping me sane. I do need to get the second cup of coffee tonight. I do need to heat up dinner. I do need to do all that stuff. I do need to get my Tropics Watch newsletter out. So sorry if anybody is on here or subscribed to my Tropics Watch newsletter. It's obviously late. I've not been able to get to it yet. I'm planning on writing it and sending it. It's just going to be a little bit late tonight. So we'll probably stay on here for another 10, 15 minutes. Um, but then I have to get the newsletter done. Unless there's something more concerning popping up, then of course we'll push that out even further. But if you're looking for the Tropics Watch newsletter, by the way, shameless plug, clickorlando.com/newsletters. If you do want to stay updated on the tropics, I send the newsletter out every Monday and now pretty much a couple times a week because we have so much action going on and a lot of stuff, especially with Erin giving us a lot of uh, we can say cool satellite imagery because it's really not going to affect people. And just wait till you see Erin tomorrow. It's going to be huge, even bigger than what it is now. It's expected to grow, go through a couple of eyewall replacement cycles, and just grow in size. I mean, thank goodness. Um, thank goodness that it is not coming here or anywhere. I mean, this thing is just wild. All right, let me see. As to check DeSoto County, I assume you mean with this one here. Fortunately, it'd be nice to have a radar in Southwest Florida, but we don't. Looks like there might be a little bit of rotation in there in DeSoto County. I don't think anything too crazy right now, anyway. You never like it when they're going when one sea breeze is pinned like the West Coast is today. That's where you get a little shenanigans, and even on a non-tornado day, you can get one of these like quick, brief spin ups. It doesn't look too concerning to me, although I don't have the best radar data either because we're so far away from the Tampa radar. Um, but yeah, I mean, it does maybe just like a little spin in there. Nothing too wild. All right, Kahuna Cat, Tavares, Eustis, and Mount Dora. Let's head back up into Lake County. I think this might stay to your west. Maybe start climbing in on Tavares. Let me put the loop on this. This is going to be interesting because when I was watching this on the news tonight, the West Coast sea breeze is hanging out over here. Whoops. And there's like going to be a little pushback. So we might see it try to jog to the east just a little bit. And this is kind of where we have untapped energy. So if we do get it to push back, but I don't know that it will. So far, everything's just hanging out. Leesburg, Fruitland Park, just to your west. I'd be very careful, though, because there's so many lightning strikes. If you have the new 6 weather app, it's going to let you know if there's lightning within a 10-mile radius, and you'll get a push alert, and then you can dial up the radar again. So just be careful, especially if you're on the west side of Tavares. You see, I don't have a ton of lightning out over the lake, but if you can hear the thunder, again, we might be able to get some strikes over here, even though it's not raining. This is an intense thunderstorm. Man, it is just coming down. Let's see. Is there hail in the storm? If there's hail, it's on the smaller side. Maybe pea size at most. Let me get in here. You know what we're gonna do? It's time, I think, for a 3D slice. We're gonna slice this. Okay, I've got too much stuff. Everybody have like tabs on their computer, and then you got too much stuff up. I'm gonna clear all of this mess. Okay, let me get the warnings and lightning off. Let me turn the radar back on. I wish I could actually like turn the storms off like that. There's our nasty storm moving through most of the northern half of Sumter County, then right over the western side of Lake County tonight. We are going to take the slice. Okay, so this is kind of cool here. So we can actually see we've tilted the radar map, and now we've sliced it. So we've got junk being lofted up to like 40 or 50,000 feet. We have some hail cores in here. So we had the question about the hail. Whoops, moved the thing. I want to move the map. There we go. Sorry, it's kind of we're in the weeds right now. Trying to get a better vantage point so I can show you if we have where the hail might be. And I think right now, I'm trying to find this purple guy. See where it's purple in there? So like closer to Inverness, we have some hail. We're like looking into the updraft now. We try to spin around the other way. There's a lot of junk in that storm, so I don't know how much you're actually going to be able to see. This is kind of a better vantage point. You see where those, let's look at it from the north. There we go. You see those big lavender little bubbles there? There we go. So that's the hail core there. So that's what the radar is picking up. And this is going to be, we'll zoom back out and I'll show you exactly what we're looking at on the traditional radar picture. But we've got some pretty intense updrafts in there. We also have another way we can look at it. We can just take a straight up slice. Let me back up and let me go back to the home screen here. Sorry if it just made everybody dizzy. Just clear everything out. We'll go back to the Tampa radar. All right, so the purple that we were watching before, that was closer to Leesburg. So that's this right here in Montclair. Let me turn the lightning back on. And there are all the lightning strikes. The lightning strikes, by the way, of the last 10 minutes. And just in this cell alone, I turned the lightning counter on. And there is 194 and 196. I mean, every time I zoom out, there's more, obviously, because we're covering a bigger area. But there's, in that cell alone, 268 strikes. And I mean, look at this. Bushnell, or excuse me, Wildwood, Bushnell as well, but not as much. We're lightening things up in Webster, Bushnell, Center Hill. But Wildwood, look at all of look at the camera picture here in Wildwood. The trees are going nuts. Where we're lightening things up in Ocala. I'll try to switch the camera shots here. And so we can get more image. So now above my head is Wildwood. And below my head is, or up to the right, I'm just going to change the title. Okay, so there we go. We have that all squared away. Thanks, Bob, for that report. C says I'm in Central Florida. The lightning was intense. Thank you for that. If you search, I don't know if I have a link to it. I know we have a link on our website somewhere. I don't know why this mouse is so screwed up. Epic lightning strike, and you're on the Sumter Lake border there, kind of in the same area where we're watching just tons and tons of lightning. If you go to your respective app store, I'm gonna just type it in. So just put in the link there in the comment section. If you want to download the app, again, it is free, and you have lightning detection. You can overlay the lightning strikes on the map, just like I'm doing here, so we can kind of watch that together. All you need to do is search New 6 Weather in your app store, whether that's Apple or Android, and all that stuff, or on clickorlando.com, there's an interactive weather thing. It's the same thing as the app, too. So no matter if you're watching this on a screen or if you want to dial up the app on your phone or your iPad, things like that. It's a really, really cool app. In my opinion, obviously I'm biased, but it's the best free weather app there, especially with the radar tracking tools. And there is also interactive hurricane tracking. So you can load up the spaghetti models that you see that I'm looping at the screen there. You can load all that up and, of course, get updates right from us. So it is a cool app. You can have the benefit of getting the expertise from the New 6 Meteorologist, and you have the benefit of literally being able to do it yourself as well, if you like doing that, if you like to look at the different models, the future radars and things like that. So it's a really, really cool app. And my favorite thing is lightning detection. It came in handy for me this weekend when I was out in the yard. Obviously, I was expecting it, but it's still nice to be able to get that push alert when I'm not paying attention to the radar because I'm cutting grass. If you're talking about the hurricane, and you bring up a really, really good point. So Coy mentions that I saw that it shifted west. Is that true? It's hard to tell what's real anymore. Yes and yes. It has shifted west, but it's on the lower end of the cone. The reason why it's a little further west, and we are still in the clear in Central Florida, by the way. So we are way, way still in the clear, okay? So I want to be clear about being in the clear. While it did come west a little bit, that was because it got stronger than anticipated and stronger than what was modeled. And therefore, it took a trip with the upper level steering flow, which wanted to push it a little further. It was from the northwest to the southwest. That's why I kind of jogged a little further south, and it's making a more of a wider turn in there. But there is still a dip in the jet stream that's going to be hanging out over the eastern seaboard, and that's going to help to really nudge this thing to the north. So if you see there on that little red box, and it might be small because I have that red box in a smaller box, the motion is now out of the north and west. So we even got the west northwest out of the way. It's a perfect northwest, and all of the modeling there in a consensus that the worst of the worst part of that storm. Yep, it's the new 6 weather pinpoint. I don't know why it still says pinpoint, but it's the new 6 weather pinpoint app. It's super long, but yeah, that's the one it is, and you should see our logo, and it'll look like this as I'm having like 2 conversations at once. Sorry about that. Um, but yeah, it did go a little west. That was to be expected a little bit once it got strong real fast, like once it got up to Cat 5 on what, Saturday morning, and all that stuff. And yeah, I had a crazy TikTok sent to me. That's if it'll focus. Maybe it won't focus. That's the one you're looking for. Um, I had a crazy TikTok sent to me this morning, and it was some lady with ocean intuition, and she said it was coming to Florida, and like 40,000 people hearted it. It was wild. It's not coming to Florida. It's not. But yeah, I know a lot of people were making a lot of hoopla over the weekend. All that stuff. Ah, yes. Okay. I think those are different. Those might be different news stations that use the same number 6. And like we have 2. We have one specifically for news and then one specifically for weather in case you weren't interested in both of them, so they're not coming at the same thing. So that's why there's 2 from our new 6, but there are a couple other different 6s out there, and that's why there's so many. I know it's annoying. It's annoying. Hey, Neek, thanks for downloading that. You got it. I mean, great question. Because there's a lot of garbage, and I mean, again, if you hate that stuff, if you want to, I'm a straight shooter. Again, if you're finding this live stream helpful, we have a show every night at 9:30 Monday through Friday where we take a look at the tropics during hurricane season, of course. So we're going to have a big tropical update, and of course around the state of Florida. So if you're watching maybe from the West Coast, Gulf Coast of Florida or South Florida, and you don't have a streaming option, um, come check us out. We're hanging out every Monday through Friday at 9:30 right here on the New 6 YouTube channel. And we have a fun time, great weather conversation. This thing is not moving much. It is moving at about 10 miles an hour. It is moving at about 10 miles an hour. I'm going to put a link in here for everybody that is it's like I'm being dramatic. It's like Christmas morning for those that are downloading the app. But I put a link in there, and I'll pin it to the top of this. But basically, it's how to use it. I just wrote this the other day. If you wanted to learn more on how to use some of the hurricane tracking tools, I will admit that some of the things are kind of buried in there. I mean, your forecast and all that stuff, the radar, it's all right there. But it shows how to kind of click across and to toggle things off and to set your location. So that will help you if you really want to explore the app, because it takes a little bit of getting used to, but I'm a big fan of it. I'm a big fan of the app. And you can, I mean, the radar resolution is second to none from a free radar app or from a free weather app. All right. So yeah, the storm moving at about 10 miles an hour. Glad the link was helpful. Let me put this on again. I mean, we were talking and kind of going off the rails here, and not much has changed in terms of the storm motion. You see it trying to toggle and drift up to the north. Just nuts. And I mean, I would not be surprised if we have more flooding here. Let's go back up to the Jacksonville radar and get back into Marion County. More development kind of northeast of Silver Springs. This is towards Cedar Creek and Bruceville. They did highlight a special weather statement. I was going to say, it looks like these are getting a little rowdy up here. And these guys better be moving to the northeast. How's it going, Heidi? A lot of people from Ocala should not be surprised because we are getting pummeled, or at least have been for the past couple of hours. Sweet. I'm glad you're liking it already. We are getting thunder here in northeast. Let's go and let me stop this loop. Flip this around. There we go. So there's all the lightning strikes here. There's Northeast 14th Street, East Silver Springs Boulevard, into Oak, Northeast 70th Street, if any of these are ringing a bell. And then there's the heaviest rain into Silver Springs. This is trying to, it looks like, kind of push back to the west a little bit. Let me see. I'm going to look for another camera. Okay, this one's going to be cool. Let me switch it up. So what we have above my head, and there's a stupid raindrop blocking it, but we can see that storm. We're looking from McIntosh. But if you look closely, and that raindrop's making me mad, we got to be looking south. So we're looking. Let me get back up out of the way. We might be seeing. Actually, I don't know which way we're looking. We could be seeing any one of these downpours. McIntosh, we're dry right now, but look at you can see the rain shaft of the downpour or thunderstorm I'm not sure what direction that camera is posted, but that is a live look in Macintosh, and you can see the heavy rain coming down from that. So we're either looking at the cell to the north, that's over Evanston and Cross Creek, or to the southeast, that's over Citra. I know it literally it's like right there. I wish I had the capability to move the camera or to dry it off, but it's terrible. It's literally right there. Whoops. Let me see. I have one in Salt Springs. Let's see which way it's. Or no, I don't. Like the one in Oklawaha isn't working either. There's normally a really cool view in Salt Springs, and I was hoping it was turned to the west to see these storms here anyway. Have to deal with this stupid raindrop. Yeah, you're not kidding about $1 million invention there. That would be awesome. All right, so here's where we stand as we do kind of a re-up radar tour. See, I just got my alert. Rain is approaching the current location and may affect the area soon. So I'm down here. Need to get back to the Melbourne radar. We're about right in here. That's where the station is. And there's the rain coming through, so it'll let me know that all that stuff. So there's the Citra cell. To the south and west. And that one's probably going to get some thunder and lightning in the not too distant future. Ah, good eye. Good eye. Good eye, squirrel girl. She saw the lake. Duh. And there's the lake. Thank you. Appreciate you being on the stream as always. So yeah, there's the lake right there. So we're obviously looking across the lake, and there you go. Good detective work tonight. I appreciate that. So yeah, we're officially looking at the that another big lightning strike in Ocala on the northeast side. No, I know you are the expert. You are my Marion County expert. For sure. No, you've got the ins and outs. So it's always nice to have you on the stream when I'm not thinking clearly. So thank you for that. Yeah, no, some nasty lightning in and around Marion County. All right, that's not a bad idea. And I have to get my Tropics Watch newsletter sent out. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep the stream live, okay? I'm going to have this looping radar up so that we're going to do it. I'll even add a little bit of music to it if you like. So you can continue to talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to go up. I'm going to get my newsletter fired up, and I'm going to start typing that to send out. If you want that, if you don't subscribe to that, let me see where it is. Another lightning is horrible. It's crazy out there. This is what I'm going to write. I'm going to write up the Tropics Watch newsletter. I know a lot of you guys were asking about the wave behind Erin, and we're going to get into this. We're going to get into this in depth tonight at 9:30. We're here every Monday through Friday at 9:30, so that's a little less than 2 hours away. So I would love it if you download the Tropics Watch newsletter. It's at least delivered to your inbox every Monday, and it's a little late tonight because we've been hanging out together. So forgive me. But I'm going to go write this up right now. It's going to have obviously a lot to do with the big waves coming to Florida. tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday. Again, that's all that's coming to Florida. And also about the wave behind Erin, if you're interested in that. It's a free sign up. You can scan the QR code if you're watching this on a big screen. Clickorlando.com/newsletters. You can just find the Tropics Watch one. There's a lot of newsletters here at News 6. So you can scan the QR code if you want. Sign up, clickorlando.com/newsletters. I'd love if you did that. Again, every Monday it's delivered to your inbox. And sometimes as necessary. Last week I had 3 come out. So there you go. I'll try not to, Bob. I'll try not to. But anyway, I'm going to run real quick. I'm going to write this up. I'm going to keep this stream live. If anything crazy happens, if I have a storm report to share, and my goodbyes, by the way, are super long. If you're not familiar with how I operate, this is one of those times. I just want to check, make sure that there's no other damage reports being shared in Marion County. Not seeing anything in Sumter or Marion either, other than what we've already discussed. Okay. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to keep the loop rolling. Talks amongst yourselves. If you see anything, I will be here monitoring the chat. I'm just going to be casually writing the newsletter right off the side of the screen here. And yeah, you can sign up Tropics Watch newsletter, and you're going to get that to your inbox probably within the next 30 to 45 minutes, depending upon when I get that done. But thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the reports. Thank you for being the eyes and ears in the field. Really appreciate it. Thanks for the conversation tonight. Again, if you're interested, if you found this live stream helpful, we do this when the weather gets wild, which is a lot in Florida, as we all know, and have a live weather show every night that covers the state of Florida. And in the hurricane season, we talk about the tropics a lot. So we separate the trash from the truth. That's how I like to put it, because my goodness, there's a lot of trash out there. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go write this Tropics Watch newsletter. I have the stream up. I've got the radar. I'm watching closely. If anything crazy starts to happen, all I need to do is hit this button, and we're back live. I'm going to keep this loop rolling. I'll see you guys at the very least at 9:30 tonight. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate y'all. I didn't make it out of the chair just yet. As I was getting up, we do have a new flash flood warning in Sumter County. So I do want to get to that. We were talking that we thought that this might be a possibility because this rain was not moving much. It was hanging out and it was coming down just heavy and again, not moving anywhere. We've had radar estimates of 2 to 3 inches of rain in the hour. We'll double check that for you. But this flash flood warning officially officially now goes until 9 o'clock. Again, this is hot off the press. This does include Wildwood. This does include Adamsville, Monarch, Bamboo, Brownwood. That State Road 44 area that we were highlighting before. Our friend Neek has been hanging out on the Sumter-Lake County border and has noted the intense lightning that has been around. So again, now we officially have that flash flood warning. I do want to show you the rainfall. And again, this is going to be estimates over giant footprint here. And you see pretty much that yellow shaded area. That is where the flash flood warning basically covers. And in that, that's where we have 2 to 3 inches of rain falling in just 1 hour. No doubt could aggravate and start some flash flooding, especially in poor drainage areas. So just want everyone to be mindful, and that's why I jumped back on here and didn't want to cancel the stream or close the stream, because I figured that this would happen. And there we go again with about 3 inches of rain in an hour, and likely more since the start of this storm a while ago. And we can still see again on the Wildwood cam there on the bottom that this lightning is out of control tonight. So just highly electrified. Again, wouldn't be anywhere. Somebody put it that it looks like a tropical storm. Yeah, these afternoon thunderstorms do look like tropical storms. I mean, a tropical storm force wind gusts is 40 miles plus. So that's what we're dealing with here. It's basically like a little mini, teeny tiny tropical storm, at least conditions anyway. But Wildwood, Coleman, Adamsville, that's where we have a flash flood warning tonight. And again, flash flood warnings are the big ones. The flood advisories are okay. Poor drainage areas, we may have a little bit of ponding on the roadways, certainly something to be mindful of. But the flash flood warnings are the big ones here that'll trigger alerts on your phone, even if you don't have your favorite local news station's app. And as we talked about, the free News 6 weather app, it is a great tool to help get alerts like this too, and you can set your location and everything. So I highly recommend it. You can track the storms in your location. But again, officially a flash flood warning in play for northern Sumter County. Alrighty, guys, I'm going to get back to writing the Tropics Watch newsletter. Again, if I'm going to keep this loop live here on YouTube. If we see anything, again, I'm watching the comments. So any questions, again, feel free to ask. I'm right here, and keep them coming. If you're finding this stream helpful, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. Again, we do this all the time in Florida and across the state of Florida, not just Central Florida, but across this entire state of Florida. And if not, I'll see you at 9:30 for our live weather show. All right, I got to get typing. See you guys.